Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are reviving an old series on the channel called Flipping with Scapenomics. In this series, I show you day in and day out when I'm flipping to make my money, and I kind of walk through the entire process that I use. So if you guys do enjoy this one, be sure to drop a like, and let's get over to the Grand Exchange with the max cash and the 70k platinum tokens. We're going to start this episode out with a few active flips. I want to start with an active session just to get the ball rolling, and then I'll probably transition into some more passive flips as the episode goes on. Before I even get any further into this episode, I've already seen a very interesting opportunity on the Twisted Bow. You can see here in the past day that the Twisted Bow has hit 980 mil 3 separate times and has bounced every single time. I think this might be a good opportunity for us to passively flip this item, maybe over like a 6-hour time frame, and be able to make potentially 3 mil per Twisted Bow. I'm going to consider that once we wrap up this active session. We've got the session rolling. We're already a little bit stuck on these sides, but it's not a big deal. And we've got the Grazis going, which is quite nice. We're currently flipping them for about 120k margin each, so we're currently up about 240k right at the start of the session. And we also just got that scythe off as well. Very nice. So a lot of you have been begging me to flip the Harmonious Orb on the live streams that we do, so I'm going to go and try and flip one of them today. It's not an item I flip a lot, so I'm a little bit unfamiliar in the pattern and the way it actually works, but I do have a little bit of experience flipping lower volume items, so we're going to go ahead and list this Harmonious Orb. I'm going to take a look at the graph and see exactly where we should list the price. So we've got the Harmonious Orb pulled up. It's important to remember that we are actively flipping this item, so we're going to want to keep that margin a little bit tighter than we typically would. We just saw a price update 2 minutes ago to 874.2 mil, which gives me confidence that this is relatively an accurate margin because it's so fresh. So I'm thinking we list maybe about 870, maybe a little bit higher, maybe 871 if we don't have any luck for about 20 minutes, and we'll see if that actually buys up. Starting to move some items back and forth, actually did pretty good on those Arcane Spirit Shields, walking away with about 360k, flipping 2 of them there. So we're actually going to go back in and try to flip another 2 for around the same margin. We'll give it maybe a 20k bump on the buying side, just because the price did update on the real-time price end. So we want to make sure we are staying competitive with our offers on our active flipping session. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the Harmonized Orb and my thought process behind it. By the way, I always call it the Harmonious Orb. I do apologize. Either way, I do have it listed for about 870 mil. Now, it does look like it is rotating up right now. It does look like it might go up to about 880 mil again. But the problem that I have with the Harmonized Orb, it is very low volume, right? So if this thing starts to crash, then we will catch it with our buy offer. And you never want to rush into buying a low volume item. Reason being is because this thing is traded very infrequently, and you could buy in and honestly end up in a very bad crash. So when you play these Harmonized Orbs or these volatile orbs, anything that is lower volume, you want to be very careful about your entry price. So even though the trend is bullish right now, I do want to play it safe and keep a low listing to get the best deal possible. This is also the reason I don't like to flip the Harmonized Orb on stream, because honestly, you can be waiting a very long time to get a good offer on the orb, and then when you finally get it, you're not always in profit immediately. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer and you gotta wait, which is why I like to flip those lower volume items over a larger time frame, as it's just a little bit easier and usually more profitable. Cleaning up on the Dragon Hunter crossbows, made about 428k total flipping those just right now. Pretty good flip, wasn't too hard to do. I do wish we made a little bit more than that, but not too concerned. Looking at the price patterns on the Justiciar armor right now, and it is looking a little bit funky, so I do want to see if I can take advantage of that. Currently, we're seeing a large gap on the margin, which usually means there's a little bit of price uncertainty on the item. I'm actually going to go risk it and try to get a nice big offer in here and try to fill out 5 Justiciar armor sets. A couple of hours have gone by, and boom, we were able to sell the Harmonized Orb for a 5.9 mil profit. Pretty happy about that. We might have been able to get a little bit more, but we'll take the gains. We also had all of the Justiciar armor sets buy up as well. We're going to turn around and sell those overnight. We might try to buy a few more of those, but I know that I'm going to go back in on another Harmonized Orb. I think we can flip another one overnight and try to aim for about an 8 mil profit. It does look like the Harmonized orb is rotating up a bit, but we are going to play the downside on it just like we did previously and hope that it goes in our direction. I'm currently looking at the 7-day graph, and it looks like we might be able to buy some for around 867 mil. So we're going to list like high 867 mil. I'm thinking maybe like 867.8. We'll try to buy a few of these and see if we actually are able to get a few overnight and sell them in the morning. We're going to go for 2 of them. Fingers crossed that it will go in our direction. Wow, I can tell you right now, this is going to be an interesting episode. As you can see here, we did buy 2 of the Harmonized orbs last night, but unfortunately, the item is crashing very aggressively right now, so we are down about 5 mil on each Harmonized orb for a 10 mil total unrealized loss. But don't worry, I think things are actually going to bounce back relatively fast. I'm going to give it maybe another day here and try to sell these Harmonized orbs for around 874 mil each. Now that is what I like to see. Both of the Harmonized orbs have sold. I think it's somewhere about a 10 mil profit. I'm going to go ahead and collect it and let you guys know. 13 mil profit flipping 2 Harmonized orbs. I'm very happy about that. It did take a little bit longer than I anticipated, but still 13 mil, super nice flip. We're going to take that to the stack. I'm a little bit nervous about these Justiciar armor sets though, because currently they're trading for about 30.3 mil, and we got in at around 33 mil, guys, so we are not in a good spot on these. The way that I'm actually going to play this out is I am going to wait a little bit longer. Justiciar is looking relatively cheap in comparison, and although it has been aggressively downtrending, I do think we might see a bounce here, and we can actually get them off for a little bit higher. I don't know if we're going to get them off for 33 mil, but if we could liquidate them for around 32 mil, I'd be happy taking a 5 mil loss total on the Justiciar armor sets. We just finished up a live stream where we added an additional 8.2 mil to the stack. If you want to go check that out, I'll leave a link in the description below to that live stream so you can see how I made those profits. Anyway, we are going for another round of overnights right now. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to flip, but I'm going to take a look at a bunch of items. It's definitely going to be some expensive gear though. Alright, we have our flips listed. We're doing the Volatile Orb, Harmonized Orb, and the Eldritch Orb, going for all the colors, no discrimination here. We also have the Dragon Claws listed as well. I'm least confident in the Dragon Claws, to be honest, as I'm looking at the graph right now, and they are trading sideways this past day, and I'm not really sure they're going to swing this low, but we'll see what happens. I just woke up and logged on, and wow, do I have some exciting news. The Harmonized Orb right now is currently trading for about 887 million GP, and we bought one last night for 862 million. Wow, this could be a bank flip. Also, the Volatile Orbs are not looking as good. Currently, they're trading for about 221 mil, so really no gains there, but we're going to try to sell them for about 223 mil each. Wow, look at that. The Harmonized Orb sold. We're going to collect that. That is a 20 mil overnight flip. That is freaking insane. Super pumped about it. Well, we are definitely in a funky situation on these Volatile Orbs, I'll tell you that. We bought an additional 2 Volatile Orbs for 211 mil each. They actually went way lower than that, so we're currently down quite a lot across all of these Volatile Orbs. I don't think I'm going to buy any more at this time. We're going to have to bag hold them for a bit longer. We're not going to really know if we profited or took a loss on these until next episode, so you guys will have to sit on the edge of your seat until then. We also have these Justiciar armor sets, which we did want to sell for about 33 mil, but currently they are trading for about 29.7, so we're actually down a lot on a lot of these items, which is a little bit discouraging, but at the same time, we did have some bank flips. This is going to be similar to the Volatile Orb. I'm going to hold these for a little bit longer. I'm going to try to sell them probably around 31 mil and just take like a 10 mil loss total. I don't really think that's too bad at all. And we actually did have a good opportunity to do that here on June 8th, but we actually did not sell them here, which is a little bit of a problem. Do I think they're going to keep going down? Actually, I do think they're going to go down to about like 27 mil, but we'll honestly have to see. That's going to wrap it up for this episode, guys, but of course, I know you want to know the total profit, and in this past week, which has been the length of this episode, we have made 62 million GP, with the Harmonized Orbs leading us greatly into the profit. Very happy about that. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy this one, definitely drop a like. Be sure to tune in next week so you can see how we make out on the Volatile Orbs, and hopefully we make some profit on those guys. Definitely very nervous. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.